Action, like shit. All right, let's get it. I'm back. You back. We back. Like it's fine, ho. You already know what it is. It's me. It's your girl P, your favorite bitch and your favorite witch. Welcome to this week's episode of Postscript, also known as PS, the talk show. Let's get into the episode. All right, we got a few little topics for you this week. So our first topic this week is going to be, obviously, what's the tea? You already know what's the tea. Big Ram Pride shit. Because homecoming is officially in 26 days as I come to you and record this on October the 13th. Homecoming is in 26 days. And now let's get into this week's segment of questions that need answers. The card game edition. Let's see. What question we gonna answer this week? One of them did jump out. Where it go? Here it go. All right, let's see. If you could have a conversation with your favorite fictional character, what would you ask them? Oh, so my favorite fictional character would probably be Hannah Montana. And a question that I would want to ask Miley, like as a person, would be, do she remember the lyrics to all the Hannah Montana songs? Like if we like randomly played a Hannah Montana song, would she like be able to remember it and sing it? Because bitch, I surely could. I know I can. You put on any song from Hannah Montana and it just comes right back to me. Like that's why I know music is a special connection that we have as humans, because you could not hear a song for years and it come on and you just know it like you heard it yesterday. So that's what I would want to ask Miley is, do she still remember like all the little dance moves and all the songs and stuff from Hannah Montana? And why we ain't never heard her sing none of the Hannah Montana songs? There's probably some legality to do with that, with like Disney owning it and all that. But how we ain't never heard her sing none of the Hannah Montana songs as a grown adult? But anyhow, that's this week's segment of questions that need answers. For this week's bar for bar, I really just want to give a big shout out to my girl Glorilla, Glow the P. You already know what I'm saying. I knew that I liked her, but when she dropped that Anything mixtape, and then I saw her on tour with Meg, and then now she done dropped Glorious. Oh yeah, she's certified. Like that's my girl. I really love In That Mode off of Anything because she was talking her motherfucking shit about like just when people don't see it for you, like you see it for you. You shitted on me at my lowest. You know I still owe you, right? Like don't think I forgot, bitch. Don't think I forgot. So I really just want to give a big shout out to her. And this week's bar for bar, I want to highlight Stop Playing. I ain't really been hearing a lot of people talk about that song on Twitter. A lot of people been talking about all the other songs. It's definitely a no skips album. But when I heard that song, I was like, oh my god, bitch, am I getting emotional? Like, why I feel like she's talking to me directly? Like, rocking all black, she got it. Anything she wants, she got it. That's, oh my god, I love that song. So definitely want to give a big shout out to Stop Playing by Glorilla, because that's my shit. I done had that song on repeat. That's this week's segment of Bar for Bar. All right, so let's get into P's favorite pieces. I don't have a box to show y'all because I'm trying to control myself and contain myself, but I just really need y'all to know that I'm not even a Mike and Ike's girl. Oh, calm, can't see it. All right, now back to what I was saying. I'm not even a Mike and Ike's girl, but y'all, them sour watermelon Mike and Ike's got me in a fucking 360, okay? I am a person who loves watermelon flavored anything. Like, I love watermelons. Oh my god. And then like here in Texas, we be having these big giant ass watermelons with seeds in them. I be eating watermelons from the man in Mississippi when I go to live with my father. I just love anything watermelon, especially sour watermelon. So them drinks really got me in a chokehold. Like, I've been practicing self-control and not running through them like I know I could, but I still been allowing myself to enjoy. You know what I'm saying? So go to Dollar Tree, find y'all some watermelon, sour watermelon like Ike's, and tell me the drinks my bomb as fuck. Okay, so for this week's segment of Conscious Cunt, it's gonna be real short, real sweet. The only thing I really gotta say is go watch Daughter to the Dust. It's a movie set in the early 1900s, and I want to say St. Helena. I think that's the name of the place in South Carolina. It's about a family of Gullah Geechee women, and as I told y'all last episode, you know, this week, what am I saying? This month is Gullah Geechee Awareness, Heritage, and Culture Month, along with Hoodoo Heritage Month. So that's what I want to talk about. That's it for this week's Conscious Cunt. Go watch Daughter to the Dust. It's on Tubi for free. So let's just go ahead and get into this week's segment. And as you know, this is always our last segment of the show. Hashtag I cannot make this shit. First things first, I do want to say that Black Moon Lilith is currently in the sign of Libra. Black Moon Lilith is a point in space. It is also something that's in your birth chart, but we'll talk about that more when we get to that part of breaking down all the stuff that makes up your birth chart. Just to give a little background, I did learn about Lilith in literature class. I don't know if she's in the Bible per se, but I know that we was reading Genesis in literature class. I know that that's a thing from the Bible about Adam and Eve or whatever. And so the whole tea with Lilith was, and I remember me and my godfather got into a real heated debate about this one time on Thanksgiving, because he acted like I was making this shit up. Like I didn't know what the fuck I was talking about. Be for real. If you're gonna be anything, be full fucking real. So we getting into it, and I'm like, yeah, because Adam did have a first wife, and her name was Lilith. And he was like, no shit, I ain't that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Get talking about Eve and whatever. I'm like, yeah, like we do talk about Eve and shit, but I don't know what's in the Bible. I told y'all I don't know, but I just know, I'm telling y'all what I read about in literature class. We was reading creation stories, and one of the creation stories that we read about in literature class was Genesis. So basically the whole tea with Lilith was, she came from the clay, from the dirt, from the ground. I'm not clear on that, so please don't crucify me. She came to be just the same way Adam bitch ass did. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. And so basically she was like, nigga, we equal. Like, I'm not about to be all subservient to you and all of that and this and that and that and that. And we created the same. We equal. Like, I'm not your lesser than. I am your equal. So that's how they had their little falling out and stuff. So she was like, you know what? I ain't gonna fuck with this. I'm about to go ahead and exile myself and get up out of here. So she decided to do that because she wasn't about to submit based off of just, oh, you a woman, so you gotta submit to me. She's like, no, we the same. So that's when I believe Eve was made from the rib. Yeah, I know that part. I know I'm right about that. But anyhow, I'm not even about to get into all of that. I just want to give y'all a little bit of background on Lilith and her story from what I've learned and what I know. And so your Black Moon Lilith in your birth chart is how you show up to, you know, how you show up to stand on business, if I could put it in layman's terms. It's where you don't worry about trying to shrink yourself or trying to fit in or worrying about who you offend or worrying about what this person got to think about this or how this person might feel about this. You just doing you. You're not trying to be put into no box. You know what I'm saying? So that's your Black Moon Lilith. It is, if I had to relate it to anything, I would personally relate it to like the shadow side of stuff, just because it's how you disturb the peace. And I mean that in the most politically correct way possible. I'm not saying just flipping tables over and shit. Like, it's the way that you show up with defiance. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. But it's with a cause. It's not just for nothing. But I'm gonna wrap that up because I'm going on a whole tangent. I also do want to say that we recently did have our last solar eclipse in Libra. I believe that was last week. And that happened near the South Node. The South Node is another thing in your birth chart that we'll talk about later on. And that's the last time that's going to happen, having a solar eclipse in Libra near the South Node. That's the last time that's going to happen for the next like 20-something years. So the energy is very heavy on justice will be served. So just think of a lot of the shit that's happening in the world and pop culture and all of that. So I really would like you to reflect and think about the Libra things in your life that maybe you have released, or the things that you have sacrificed to have that justice be served. So just think about that. The regards to people, places, things, relationships, connections, all of that. It's the thing that I'm thinking of right now when I'm speaking about all of this is faith ain't fair. I don't know where that come from. I just know I hear people say it. That might be a church colloquialism, but faith ain't fair. That's what it's given right now. So it's time for shit to be justified, rectified, and equalized. And so, you know, relating back to what I was just talking about with the whole Black Moon Lilith thing, just think about where and how you're owning your authenticity without being concerned if that make other people comfortable. right? It all tie together. I told y'all, I do not be making this shit up. It all flow. It all go together. And then also another thing I want to talk about that happened last week. We did have the Mercury Cazimi was on February the 30th. As I told y'all, Cazimi means, you know, aligned with the sun, in the heart of the sun, lit up by the sun. And Mercury is the planet of communication. So maybe you have finally had that aha moment of speaking back to what I said last episode. Nigga, I don't know your boundaries. Maybe you finally was like, you know what? This is what I gotta say. This is how I feel. This is what I need to do. So that moving forward, I can be the best me and not be worried about what somebody else might gotta say about my own boundaries or the things that I need personally to feel seen, to feel heard, to feel appreciated, all of that. And I guess the last thing that I want to say about Lilith is it's a way to, you know how I say the Chiron is things that you may struggle with in life. Your Lilith placement, your Black Moon Lilith placement can be thought about as where oppression shows up in your life. I don't know. I can't elaborate on that just quite yet. That's all I gotta say. Girl, I say I'm your favorite bitch and your favorite witch one little time, and then Brianna come asking me about some moon. So we did get a second moon. That's what Brianna was asking me about the other week. And I'm like, girl, I know stuff about astrology, not astronomy. They're very similar but different. I don't do that. So we did get a second mini moon on September the 29th. And then another thing I want to say about that, with the mini moon that we absorbed on the 29th, we got a mini moon in 2020, and a lot of shit changed. It's giving transformation energy. That's, put it together how you want to put that together. I might be making this up, but I don't think I'm making this up. I believe that on October the 14th in 2023, it was a new moon eclipse in the sign of Libra. And then we had another one September the 22nd in 2006. So y'all know how I always give you dates and time frames to reference back, think back, look back, what was starting then, what was ending then, what's ending now, what's starting now, and how those things may or may not correlate to each other. Also, the planet Jupiter did go into retrograde on September the 5th, and that will be retrograding until February the 4th of 2025. And Jupiter did retrograde in the sign of Gemini. So with Jupiter being the planet of goodwill, fortune, expansion, abundance, growth, Gemini being the planet of knowledge and using that knowledge as power to educate people and empower people and feed back into your community. I've said it already, it's giving transformation energy. If you're not being transformed, if your life isn't changing, I don't know what to tell you. Pluto originally started its retrograde May the 2nd. I talked about that many episodes ago in season 1. And it retrograded in the sign of Capricorn on October the 11th. Pluto is the planet of transformation and depth and exploration and excavation and just digging deeper into something to learn more. And Capricorns, when I think about Capricorn, I just think about that Maya. Like, I think about stable. I think about security. Again, it's giving transformative energy. And on the 13th, which is today, Mercury does enter the sign of Scorpio. Mercury being the planet of communication, Scorpios being a sign of transformation and intimacy and mystique. Very can't really judge a book by its cover type of energy. And then if I could just go back a little bit, when I talked about Pluto retrograding in the sign of Capricorn on October the 11th, with it moving to the sign of Capricorn, it is closing out a karmic cycle from the year of 2008. So when I think about 2008, I think about the recession. I think about just economy being shitty. Now granted, I was a child, and in the very, very distinct memory that I'm getting right now is I remember like everybody was talking about health insurance real bad, and I was just like, I don't understand like why everybody is so like butthurt about health insurance and it's free. And it's like, no, it was free for you because you lived in Section 8 housing with a 0 income household. People that had a real life and real jobs and real responsibility, bitch, that shit is not free, which is the life that I'm living now. So like I always say, I like to give y'all dates and times so where you can think about things that were happening then and things that are happening now, compare the two, see how they either correlate or they don't. So, and speaking of transformative energy, the door is open. You just have to be willing to big up yourself, energetically, physically, mentally, spiritually, and prepare yourself to be able to walk through the door. Because the door ain't just taking everybody in. It's you got to be prepared. You got to be armed and build up yourself to be available to walk through that door. So back to how I was talking about, thinking about the Libra things that you may have let go. You can't take certain things with you through that door. So you have to physically and mentally be ready to release those things. And like I said last episode, it might be things that are very familiar, things that are very comfortable, things that are just what you used to. Get used to some new shit. So the Pluto in Capricorn, and as I told y'all before in previous episode in season 1, Pluto is one of the slowest moving planets, if not the slowest moving planet in the solar system. So it's going to be in Capricorn, like I said, from October the 11th to November the 19th. And not only that, this is going to be the last time ever in our lifetime that we're going to get Pluto in Capricorn. So lock in before I tweak out. You really got to show up, sharpen up, big up yourself, and really be ready to claim what the transformative energy wants to give you and be able to shed yourself of the things that won't allow you to transform. Like I said, this is the last time that this is ever going to happen in our lifetime. So a lot of my peers, we're currently in our Saturn returns. Yes, it's time for you to really evolve and change. So take this time, and I'm going to say them dates again so you can remember. October the 11th through November the 19th. Lock in before everybody speak out. And I said this many episodes ago, and I never did it, and I just remembered that I need to do it this week. So I'm going to tell y'all what all of the moon phases and signs is going to be for the week, because I remember I said that many episodes ago, and I still have not done it. So let's start with today. Today is October 13th. It's Sunday. We currently have an Aquarius moon. It's a waxing gibbous. I'll get into moon phases at a later date, but you can look that up yourself. Waxing is personally my favorite moon phase, because if you look at the moon when it's in a waxing phase, you can see the entirety of the circle of the moon, but you only see the illuminated part. And to me, that's kind of how I look at life. I'm very much a glass half full type bitch, not a glass half empty type of person. And when you look at the waxing moon, you can see the entirety of the circle of the moon, but you can only see the part that's illuminated, that's lit up, right? But you can still see the whole thing. So you see the potential that the moon has to grow and become more illuminated and more illuminated and more illuminated till we get to that full moon. On the 14th and the 15th, we're going to have a Pisces moon phase, and it also is a waxing gibbous. On the 16th, we're going to have an Aries moon phase, which is also a waxing gibbous. On October, that was my drawing. On October the 18th and the 19th, we'll have a Taurus moon phase, which is going to be a waning gibbous. And last but not least, next Sunday, October the 20th, we will have a Gemini moon phase, which is going to be also a waning gibbous. And finally, before we leave, as I promised, we're going to continue to speak of the houses, the signs, the planets, the modalities, the elements, until we get through the entire wheel. So this week, these are our next 4. So first things first, let's talk about the 5th house. We left off on the 4th house last episode. If you didn't watch that, go back and watch it so that you're not confused and you understand what happens in the 1st through the 4th house. Now we're going to do the 5th through the 8th house. So the 5th house is the house of pleasure, fertility, and Leos are associated with the 5th house. Leos will benefit, what the fuck am I saying? Leos will benefit from I create and I will affirmations. And Leo's modalities are fixed. And as we talked about previously, fixed signs are the doers. Now, when we're speaking of Leos, Leos are very devout. And I put SOB and you probably think that's son of a bitch, but it's not. That means stand on business. Leos are very feet planted into the ground, hard to move kind of people. And their element is fire. And as we've said before, you know, fire is magnetic. It's the spark. It's warmth. And like I said, they are very stand on business type of people. So they're very direct when we're speaking of Leos. And now let's go to the 6th house. The 6th house is the house of routine, health, and vitality. Virgos are associated with the 6th house. And Virgos would benefit from I serve affirmations. Their modality is mutable, and when we speak of mutable signs, they are the presenter, like I said. But Virgos, when we're speaking of them specifically, they would be support systems. They would be a sign of mental and physical health. And also their element is earth. And as I spoke of before, earth signs are abundant and lush type of people, and also very reliable. And now let's get into the 7th house. The 7th house is the house of contracts. They are the house of the we, the house of co, the house of... That's all I want to say. They are associated with the sign of Libra. Libras are the sign of ships, so relationships, partnerships, friendships. And like I said, the sign of co, so when two things come together to do something, partnership, that kind of thing. Co-working, co-parenting. I don't know another word that's co, but you get my gist. Libras would benefit from I balance affirmations. And when we think of Libras, we would like to think of them as the mirror sign. So most times with Libras, you may be able to see things in them that you may not like about yourself. Or maybe even see things in them that you wish you held more qualities closer to that feature of them. Their modality is cardinal. Like I said, they are the initiators. And if you think about the signs that represent each sign, the sign of Libra is the scale. So I put, they are the sign of equilibrium. They are very concerned with things being right. And I don't mean my opinion has to be right, but I'm saying that everybody is equally served. And their element is air. So like I said, air, think of the wind, it's very quick. Like I said, that's all y'all energy. They are very open-minded people. They're problem solvers. They don't mind listening to what everybody got to say and then seeing how they can take that information that they got to make the issue or the problem a little bit more digestible for everybody. And last but not least, we're going to move to the 8th house. And the 8th house is the house of power, the house of subconscious. And when I think about that personally, I think about like shadow work shit. So, oh shit. So you may want to look at your 8th house. Jesus Christ. Let me move my hair. You may want to look at your 8th house if you're thinking of ways that you could incorporate shadow work into your life. And the sign of Scorpio is associated with the sign of Libra. The sign Scorpio is associated with the 8th house. Scorpios are the sign of temptation, connection through intimacy, and transformation through intimacy. They're very good lovers, as everybody knows. Everybody always talk about Scorpios got good sex, but they have a very mystique aura and grandiose vibe to them that just kind of pulls you in. And they are associated with the deep mental space. So that also relates back to, like I said, the subconscious, the shadow work stuff. And the theme of the episode is transformation, like I said. So they are the sign of transforming, but through intimate settings. And that doesn't always mean sex. It could be, like I said, deep talks. It could be speaking of things that maybe aren't the most comfortable to you, or maybe that you don't feel comfortable about speaking to somebody else. But you might just get that connection that you feel like, I could trust this person. I could open up to them. They're a safe space kind of vibe. And their modality is fixed. So I'm a fixed sign. So we, like I said, we have a lot of inertia. We not no pushover. We ain't no hoe. So we are the doers. And Scorpios are associated with life cycles and things starting and things ending and always moving forward, transforming, evolving. I've said it 100 times. And their element is water. So they are very laid back people. And I said it before, water is also very powerful. It has to be contained or it will quite literally destroy shit, like the hurricanes and stuff that's happening right now, destroying shit. So just think about flow. Water moves. Water likes to flow. Water likes to, like, the ocean never stops moving. Like, think about it like that. And then just to go back, because I didn't do this the first time. So Leos are ruled by the sun, which is a luminary. That's not a planet. Virgos are ruled by the planet Mercury. Mercury is the planet of communication. Libras are ruled by the planet Venus. I'm also ruled by the planet Venus, and being a Taurus, that is the planet of love, beauty, art, creation, self-value, all that kind of shit. And Scorpios, they have two rulers, which is Pluto and Mars. Pluto being the planet of transformation. Mars is a planet of action, drive, progression, aggression, desire, passion. I think I said that already. But those are the 4 things that we're going to talk about in this week's episode. Like I always say, I really appreciate all of y'all for watching. Please make sure that... Oh, I ain't had no questions this week, so I guess I can't say make sure you comment and answer my questions. But go back and watch last week's episode, and if you Christian, answer the question that I asked. Somebody did answer one of the questions, and they called denominations, but it was another question I asked. I can't remember what it was right now. But somebody that's Christian, go back and watch that and answer that for me. And just keep coming back, because I'm going to keep educating y'all and giving y'all these things in digestible pieces that we can all understand. It's giving transformation energy. If you don't know what Black Moon Lilith is, if you've never heard of Lilith, look her up and look into her storyline and into her, because I very much identify with Lilith. But I think that's all I can say. Next week, I will be having the time of my life. My dreams will be coming true. I'm going to When We Were Young Fest, and I will finally get to live out my alt goth emo life that I never got to live out when I was younger, because I was too young to go to music festivals and concerts and stuff, and I ain't had no money, so I couldn't necessarily dress and do stuff that I wanted to do all the time in relations to that part of myself. So I'm so excited. Make sure y'all stay tuned. I'm gonna give y'all a little vlog, and it's up. That's all I can say. Like, I'm really an adult. I'm really out here fulfilling my childhood dreams, healing my inner child, and just doing the stuff that I never thought I'd be able to do. So thank y'all for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure you comment, like, keep coming back, because I'm gonna keep coming back whether you come back or not. You already know how we get an episode, and if you don't, I'm gonna tell you. Bitches be mad because they be hating, and bitches be hating because they be mad. Bye, y'all.